My girlfriend posted, "A queen doesn't need to explain herself to anyone." After lying about where she spent the night, I screenshot it, sent it to her dad with, "Your queen daughter needs a new castle," and kicked her out. She's been calling ever since. Angela and I had been together for 3 years. And for the last year we'd been living together. Splitting everything down the middle, rent, utilities, groceries, 50-50. Even though I earned more, she insisted it was about maintaining independence. And I respected that. At least, I thought I did. Then came the first red flag. About 3 weeks before everything exploded. She said she was having a girls' night and would crash at her friend Amy's place afterward. At 2:00 a.m. I got a text from her, "Too drunk to drive. Crashing here. Love you." I didn't think much of it. Except Amy was posting Instagram stories all night. And Angela wasn't in a single one. When I asked about it, Angela brushed it off with, "Amy's being weird about photos lately." Something in her tone didn't sit right. But I let it go. Then came the night everything unraveled. Another girls' night. Another late text, "Too drunk. Staying at Amy's." But this time, my buddy Gary was out downtown. He sent me a photo from a bar. Timestamped at 1:47 a.m. Just 13 minutes before Angela's text. And in that photo was Angela, wrapped around some guy I'd never seen in my life. The next morning she waltzed into our apartment wearing the same dress, claiming she'd been up all night with Amy talking about her ex-boyfriend's drama. She didn't even flinch. She actually looked me in the eyes and lied. I played along. Even suggested lunch with Gary and his girlfriend later. She agreed instantly. And that's when I knew. If she'd been at that bar innocently, she would have mentioned seeing Gary. That weekend, I stopped ignoring my gut. While she showered, I checked her phone and her bank statements. It was all there. Multiple bar tabs that same night. A diner charge at 3:24 a.m. Nowhere near Amy's. Hotel bookings on days she claimed she was away at conferences. Restaurant bills after so-called gym nights. A pattern stretching back months. I was ready to confront her. But she beat me to it, with that Instagram post, "A queen doesn't need to explain herself to anyone," sitting right next to me, smirking at her phone. That was my breaking point. I took the screenshot, attached Gary's photo, and sent them both to her dad, Stephen, with the message, "Your queen daughter needs a new castle." Then I walked into the bedroom and started packing her things. She followed me, confused, asking, "What are you doing?" "You're moving out," I told her. "A queen doesn't need to explain herself, right? Well, this peasant doesn't need to house royalty." She laughed in my face. "It's just a quote. Are you seriously mad about an Instagram story?" "No," I said. "I'm mad about the lies." That's when her phone rang. It was Stephen. She declined. He called again. I told her to answer it. On speaker, his voice thundered. "Angela, what the hell is going on? Why is Nicholas telling me you need a new place to live?" She tried to spin it. But Stephen wasn't buying it. I cut in, "She's been lying about where she spends her nights." "I'm done," Angela screamed. "You have no proof. The bank statements disagree." I shot back. Stephen sighed heavily. "Angela, come home. We'll talk." But the story didn't end there. After Angela moved back in with her parents, Amy reached out. She told me Angela had been asking her to cover lies for months. And every single time Amy had refused, Angela had been dragging her name through the mud without permission. Amy even told me. She said, "You two were basically broken up. I had no idea she was still living with you." Then Amy connected me with Helen, the girlfriend of the guy in Gary's photo. His name was Eric. Helen had receipts, screenshots of texts between Angela and Eric plotting how they'd leave us both. Hotel bookings, messages about how Angela planned to stick with me until after Christmas to get her gifts. Plans about how Eric would keep stringing Helen along until his lease ended. Helen posted everything, screenshots, timelines, the whole truth, on Facebook, tagging both Angela and Eric, their jobs, their families. Her caption read, "Since you two think sneaking around is fun, let's make it public." The fallout was instant. Angela's job put her on administrative leave because of their strict social media policy. Eric lost his job entirely. Turns out he'd been using his company car for late-night meetups. 2 weeks later, I got another call from Amy. She told me Angela was spreading rumors that she was pregnant and that it was mine. I didn't waste a second. I called my lawyer and demanded a paternity test. Angela tried to spin it, calling everyone I knew, my friends, my mom, sobbing about how I was abandoning my child. But Stephen called me that night, and together we forced the issue. Angela had to take a test, in front of both of us. Negative. She had bought a fake positive test online, trying to manipulate me into taking her back after Eric dropped her. That was the last straw. Her father arranged for her to be admitted for psychiatric evaluation. And me? I walked away with my dignity, my freedom, and a story that reminds me every day that if someone insists on calling themselves royalty, You'd better check what kingdom they're ruling, because chances are, it's built on lies.